And now let's get to Venom. Everyone out there who's a Spider-Man fan, probably their favourite villain is Venom. He's mine. He's my personal favourite one because he's just that awesome. He really is one of Spider-Man's best villains in my opinion. I don't care if you love him or hate him, you can respect what he is. Sam Raimi, the director of all three of the Spider-Man films, made it abundantly clear that he didn't want Venom in his movies. Which is stupid because Venom is one of the best. And they basically butchered him in the third movie. They completely butcherized him. They almost ruined Venom. In fact, there's still a Venom movie in the works apparently, which is never going to happen, by the way, especially after the abomination of Spider-Man 3. But they portrayed Venom in such a horrible way. He was basically a third-string villain who appeared at the last 20 minutes of the movie, and that's it. He was there, and then he died, which made no sense whatsoever. It was horrible. Fucking bullshit. Fuck you, Sam Raimi, for ruining Venom. I've been waiting years to see a live action version of Venom, and what did we get? We got a pissy moan fucking reporter and probably one of the worst renditions of a superhero villain ever. Oh, I despised it. I'm sorry, it's fucking horrible. I'm pretty sure a lot of people agree with that. Oh, fuck, I despise that movie with a passion. Spider-Man 3 is the worst in the trilogy, mainly because of Venom and, of course, other aspects. So let me get to Spider-Man in general. This is going to be very quick because I don't really have a lot to say on this. In my opinion, the Spider-Man character in the Spider-Man Trilogy, played by Tobey Maguire, isn't really Spider-Man to me. After rewatching them, he's not really in my opinion, Tobey Maguire done a decent job as Spider-Man and Peter Parker, but he didn't really get the role right in my opinion. Spider-Man's meant to be this charismatic, very witty character. He's meant to always make wisecracks to the villains to throw them off balance and make them get angry. That's basically Spider-Man. He's the comedian superhero in my opinion. And in the Spider-Man Trilogy with Tobey Maguire, I don't think there's one instance where I think there's only one instance where he does a joke to piss off a villain, and that's in the first one, when he says Mummy and Daddy are talking when the Green Goblin confronts J. Jonah Jameson, which I don't think Tobey Maguire done a fantastic job. After rewatching them, he didn't do a good job in my opinion. He actually was very poor, and he did get the basis of the character down, but he didn't really get the personality down, and he really did kind of overact in some aspects. Like, he was fair enough, like, all heroes have their tragic stories, and Spider-Man is no exception. But Tobey Maguire almost sounded like he was pissing and moaning most of the time. I think he was always very, my life's horrible, it's sad. And then he goes, I'm happy again. It didn't really make sense after rewatching these films. In my opinion, Tobey Maguire done a decent job, but he didn't do a fantastic job. And of course, Spider-Man 3 is the prime example, completely near enough ruining the Spider-Man character, especially with the emo Spider-Man, which with the black suit, which made no sense. The suit does not do that to you. The black suit does not do that to you. It merely makes you a bit more arrogant and aggressive, and eventually tries to take you over. And they butchered that, in my opinion, completely butchered it, which was a major pain in my ass, which I fucking despise. So yeah, Tobey Maguire done a decent job, but he didn't really get the Spider-Man down that I loved, from the animated series and the occasional comic book I've read, which is charismatic, witty, and humorous. He's meant to always make wisecracks to the villains. I don't think there was one time when I laughed my ass off, or even snickered, besides that scene with J. Jonah Jameson and the Green Goblin. I don't think there's one instance where I laughed at all when it comes to like Spider-Man after rewatching them, in my opinion. So Tobey Maguire done a decent job, he just didn't get the character down in my opinion, so I don't like that. Now let me just get to the major problems that I have with the trilogy. I've talked about, unfortunately I'll say my overall thoughts on the pros. They're decent superhero films, they're enjoyable, and I think they got the premise of Spider-Man down and introduced it to a new generation for those who didn't know what Spider-Man was, which is kind of stupid because there's been, 3 or 4 animated series and several animated movies probably with Spider-Man, so I think we all know who he fucking is. But I digress. And of course the comic books, everyone's read a Spider-Man comic book at least once in their life, if not seen the animated series. I grew up with the animated series personally, and then I picked up a couple of comic books. But in my opinion, they've done a good job introducing the character of Spider-Man to a new generation and some of the villains. And eventually after Spider-Man 3 they had to reboot the whole series in less than 10 fucking years, which is... When did the last one come out? The last one came in 2007. It's only been 5 years? 5 years. It's been 5 years, and it rebooted that with the Amazing Spider-Man, which is it kind of needed a reboot. But let me get to the cons though of the trilogy that I don't like. Overall, I don't like the character of Spider-Man. He's not that well done. As I said, I've made it abundantly clear, Tobey Maguire done a decent job, but not a fantastic job. Another major problem that I have with the series is as I dubbed it, the Americanization of these movies. Now, for those that don't know, Spider-Man came out around about the time of the tragic event of 9/11 during the Twin Towers, in which a trailer did show the Twin Towers with a massive wave and a helicopter in it. That trailer is over the internet, by the way, you can find it anywhere, and that trailer was subsequently taken out. However, here's the major problem I have. Every Spider-Man film has an Americanization moment, whether it be Spider-Man literally next to a flag and it's blowing in the wind, and anytime I see it I'm just like, fuck off. Like, no offense to Americans or anything, but that is just, you don't need that anymore. Fair enough, for one movie, fair enough, I can accept it, but for all three, I mean, literally, I think there's like an instance in almost every movie where he's behind a fucking flag. But just change his costume, make it red, white and blue, and have a fucking star, make him the Captain America. That's what Captain America's for, by the way. He's meant to be the fucking American one. Spider-Man's meant to be a hero, not a fucking symbol. In some ways, he has a symbol, I'll say that. And then, of course, there's the Americanization gang-up scenes, in which the citizens of New York help Spider-Man out. Now, the first movie was a decent one where it basically all says, you mess with one American, you mess with all of us, or New Yorker. You mess with one New Yorker, you mess with all of us. After rewatching it, that's extremely cheesy, but still it makes sense. Those scenes feel like, that scene in particular feels like it was added in at the last minute to spark the American team up against the events of 9/11, in my opinion. It looked like it was added in last minute, in my opinion. I'm just saying that. I can't remember the one, and of course the one scene that I hate the most in Spider-Man 2, the train scene, where his mask is off and everyone in the fucking train sees who he is, and they all say, we won't tell anyone, and hand him the mask. Bullshit. You can guarantee there was at least half of them with their fucking camera phones like, click, tweet, Spider-Man's secret identity, blackmail. Horrible scene to have in the movie, I'm sorry. I know it's meant to symbolize the love for Spider-Man, but it's horrible, it's bullshit, and in my opinion it shouldn't have been in the movie. I know it's meant to symbolize something, but it just made no sense to have that in there. You can guarantee at least half the people on that fucking train would have told people. I don't care how loyal you are to your superhero, if you have blackmail on a superhero, you'll fucking use it. So I hate that scene with a passion. And I think the Spider-Man 3 one kind of makes itself apparent, the fucking flag again, which I hate. And it really, I know the events of 9/11 were tragic and all that, but one movie I can forgive, all three of them, no. I know Spider-Man's an American hero, but still, it still makes no sense to have those fucking scenes in it in all three films. In the first films with the events of 9/11, fair enough, I can forgive having that in it, especially the American flag bit. But in all three of them, no. In my opinion, you don't have to have it on all three of them. They basically just tried to milk it for all its fucking worth, and it didn't work. It really pissed me off. Especially the scenes where it showed them teaming up against the villain and making us proud to be Americans. No. They were horrible. They were downright atrocious. Apparently there's a scene like that in The Amazing Spider-Man, but I haven't seen it, so I don't know yet. So, overall, what do I think of the Spider-Man trilogy? They're decent. They're not as good as they once were, from what I remember. They are not as good as I remember. They're decent superhero films, in my opinion. And I do hope, Marvel are trying to get the rights back for all of their heroes so they can make the movies themselves. So hopefully Marvel do get the rights back for Spider-Man. But if I'm going to be honest, the Spider-Man trilogy, in my opinion, they're still good superhero movies to this day. But in my opinion, the reboot was needed, because after the events of Spider-Man 3, it's kind of apparent it did, because Spider-Man 3 flopped and failed miserably. So overall, the Spider-Man trilogy is a decent trilogy of superhero films, but it's not aged well, and it's definitely got the cheese factor on it. It's so cheesy, it's lovable, I have to say that. So they're still good movies, I'd still watch them, but if I'm going to be brutally honest, they really do need a reboot, and I'm glad they have rebooted it, and I really hope that the new Spider-Man film succeeds where these failed, because I hope the new actor as well does a good job. So overall, good films, haven't aged well, still worth a watch in my opinion, but I'm really looking forward to the new Spider-Man film, and I hope you've enjoyed this review. Look forward to my Amazing Spider-Man review when I can get to see it, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on the Spider-Man trilogy down in the comment section down below. What did you think of them overall? And if you've seen the new Spider-Man film, what is it like so far? Don't spoil it for me, but is it good? Does it worth it? And that's about it. So hope you've enjoyed this. If you liked it, please don't hesitate. If you want, click that subscribe button up above to keep following me. And as always, I'm Scottish Warrior 92, and I'll see you all later. Ciao for now. Mwah.